screen group from view to speaker so I can see you better. Okay.
I was going to ask, what car am I sitting in for $1?
Can't do it. I just know that it's got something where you can have your dog in the back.
Yeah, that's right. We got 2 of them. But look, this has been incredible. I can't wait to dive into your book and appreciate your time. I'm doing a lot of work now in the youth sector, using gratitude and golf to teach these leadership lessons, develop future leaders. And so there's a ton of lessons wrapped up in both of them. But, earlier in the call, you mentioned ego. Yeah. And it's something that's very fascinating, where in the capitalistic world that we have, I think it's a necessary component. But I think without balance of ego, the mindset that it becomes pulverizing, right? It's too much. And so I'm curious, we talk a lot about this reactive approach when they make it to the C-suite or into a leadership position. Any suggestions or thoughts as we capture the minds of these younger folks to help develop that mindset so that it's not so much of a 180 or a tidal wave when they do land that role in the future?
Lovely. Well, I think you're doing the right thing by working on gratitude. Gratitude is the antidote to ego, basically. So it's like, okay, so I did this. Who are all the people that helped me do that? When we say it takes a village to do something, like, we're not kidding. So one is I would reward them a lot for gratitude. The other one is, what are the benefits of ego? The benefits of ego are sort of determination, an internal locus of control, all kinds of things like that. That's healthy ego, Correct. So it's, you want to be, if a healthy ego is here, you've got the chest beaters on this side that give ego a bad name, but then you've got the people, the chronic self-doubters on the other side. Oh, I can't do this, I can't market myself because people aren't going to like me, to which I say that is equally ego-driven. The thing ego-driven is the chest thumpers. It's also the big avoiders. And by the way, we can be both. We can be a chest thumper in one situation and a little wimp in another. But how to sort of get to, I think the antidote for ego also is purpose. Like I don't know why I'm here, but there's something about, putting out fires or getting things done or working with teams or helping individuals that's sort of in there. And one thing I think is a purpose, when you do purpose work, it's not something that you necessarily discover. It is something you uncover, and it's there, and their core purposes are already there in these kids.
Very cool. I'd love to connect with you and further the conversation. It's really neat. Just the impact that gratitude, switching that mindset from scarcity to abundance, takes care of a lot of these issues, right? It's, it just removes the expectation from the scenario. But again, thank you for your wisdom and what you bring and contribute to the world.
Thank you. It's also like what I say to a lot of people, it really, you don't have to go crazy if your kid doesn't make the top tier school. What's important is your kid loves to learn and feels loved, but not cuddled. So how do you create a child with a good, secure attachment that feels good about themselves and that they really want to do well, but not that if you're not at the top, you're nothing. Because that's really the parents' anxiety. By the way, guys, what I realized after the book was outside my little clammy hands is it's actually a parenting book. Whole book is a parenting book. So
I need that.
the 30-second story. Okay, so I walk into the dining room and there's my son, Michael, with this hellhole of a mess in front of him. I walk and he goes, "Mom, hi, I'm done with my homework. Can I go watch TV now?" Okay, so automatically, remember we're saying the split second question, what do I need to do now? Automatically you think, we'll get this homework done. But in this case, I don't know what helped me, but I went, wait, is that really what I need here? Is it something about discipline? Is it something about loving learning? Is it something about watching my head not pop off and roll down the driveway because this is the 37,000th time, like, I want to watch TV. So in this particular case, so that's what I needed to do. But who did I want to be? At that point, I want to be someone who has enough emotion regulation that I can make a choice. Space, right? That's what I space. And then how does he need me to relate? and then we didn't do the options, but does it need to be really actively engaged, sort of step back and think, be caring, or to not respond at all for at least a moment? And I did, in this case, I actually did the latter for, like half a minute. Like, okay, I'm not going to get triggered into do your homework. So I just, and then the thought came to me, just like the woman who's like, who do I want to be right now? And then said, oh, least important meeting of my day is most theirs. But then popped into my head. I then said, so Michael, here's what I want you to do. I want you to look at your homework and ask yourself a question. Am I proud of my work? And if you're proud of your work, you can go watch TV. And I left the room. And he stayed maybe all of 2 or 3 minutes, and then went to watch TV. But it started something. So when you read the book, it all applies to parenting, like almost every single thing. Wished I'd known that. Wished
Super
I'd
cool.
known that
Yeah.
before I got